Hello. Welcome once again to Some Idiot Reads, where I'm Cy. I'm some idiot. And you know the drill. I'm here to read some shit. Today, we are going back to the amazing work of Coyote Wallace and his dispatches from Appalachia. He actually, as of the time that I am recording this, this has been up for 24 hours. So it's a brand new one, and I originally was going to try and record this like Monday? Yeah, Monday. And he had this come out like the day after that. So I'm glad I waited. I'm going to go ahead and just dive straight on in. We'll get all the spiel of everything going. But first and foremost, I do want to make sure and call out, if you are not already, make sure, go to the link to the article down in the description. Give them a follow. It's well worth it. We'll get to the rest of that at the end of this, though. Today, we are going to be reading Destined for the Pit, The Cost of Killing the Appalachian Hemp Industry. Mitch McConnell is a moron. This thought, while perhaps common amongst the people of America who have been forced to endure the senator's time in office, disrupts my otherwise idyllic morning when I read of the incoming hemp ban pushed through with the spending bill. The trees have all changed their shade, casting off their green for the red and orange hues of fall. The mountain air is chilly now, and threatens to turn outright cold. The minds of many turn to the approaching holidays and the bevy of stressful problems that accompany both Thanksgiving and Christmas in equal measure. After the shit show that was the government shutdown and the delay of SNAP benefits, most of these people are just worried about how they'll put food on the table. And still, my people are kicked when they are down. Putting food on the table has long been the primary concern of every Appalachian, regardless of what part of the mountains we are from. Hard times have been part of our people's lives for so long that most of us can't even imagine what an easy time is like. Our people rise to the challenge of hardship and hunger. They always have. And that is what has traditionally made our people such fine coal miners. One does not endure the frightful realities of coal mining without some degree of grit and toughness. Pictured: Appalachians helping Appalachians during the food crisis. Yet, despite our historical predisposition for being considered little more than equipment that talks back by the mining industry, every single person who has ever descended into the dark of an Appalachian coal mine has dreamed of something better. Maybe they couldn't dream of something better for themselves, but they dream of something better for their children. They dream of lives spent in the sunshine and with a straight back, rather than lives spent in the dark and hobbled by their work. They dream of something better than the coal pit or scraping by, flipping burgers for rich folks passing through their small towns. Economic opportunities are as rare as hen's teeth around these parts. Now, as the Appalachian people prepare to dig themselves out of the economic hole that we historically find ourselves in, as farmers prepare to bring a whole new cash crop, hemp, that could revitalize the crippled job markets of Appalachia, the Republican Party has hatched a new scheme to take away any chances that we have of changing our fortunes. Mitch McConnell, loaded with wealth and decades' worth of corrupt kickbacks, has pushed through measures that will kill the Appalachian hemp industry in the crib before it has had a chance to truly help our people. This casual cruelty and gamesmanship, played with the lives of an industry in which Kentucky itself is one of top 10 producers, is both harmful to our people's prospects and crippling to our hopes for a better tomorrow. The cruelty of this choice will consign more people to poverty, cost people their businesses, and drive more of us back to the sort of work that our region is so famous for. These are the words of Coyote Wallace. This is the Dispatches from Appalachia, and I'm some idiot just putting a voice to things. And today, we will be discussing the efforts of Mitch McConnell and the Republican Party to kill the Appalachian hemp industry and cast the people of Appalachia back into the darkness of the mines. Fill your hands. Greener pastures for a brighter tomorrow. Pictured, hemp drying on a Kentucky farm. As the coal industry continues to shrink, despite the best efforts of Republicans to repeal safety measures and environmental standards, the people of Appalachia are left with fewer and fewer opportunities. Despite the stereotypes about them, the people of Appalachia are a proud people who wish to earn their way in this world. However, the opportunities to improve our lot in life are often few and far between. So hard is work to come by in Appalachia that we are often at the bottom of the list of jobs and the top of the list in poverty. Here in the mountains, the poverty rate hovers around 16.5% for some areas and skyrockets to as much as 21.8% in others. This is not by accident. Those poverty rates are so high because, for decades upon decades, our people were serfs to King Coal, and it was all that we knew. The mine owners did not want opportunities to come to the mountains, for if there were opportunities for Appalachians to be more than pit ponies that could talk back, then those mine owners would have to pay a competitive wage. After all, who would send their husbands, brothers, and sons miles beneath a mountain in one of America's most dangerous jobs if they had options? Not many. Not many at all, unless you raise the wages. When the hemp industry came to Appalachia, it not only emerged as a rival to King Coal's grip on the job market, it also stood as a rival to the ingrained industries of tobacco and bourbon. The state of Kentucky itself saw more than $330 million in revenue from the hemp industry alone, and it created more than 3,500 new jobs just in the hemp production sector of Kentucky alone. That's more job growth than the coal industry has seen in years. Many Appalachian farmers, formerly dependent upon the tobacco industry, have already switched their crops. The hemp plant is hardy and takes to the rich black soil of our region with great gusto. The ease with which it is grown means fewer expenses and less toil for the farmer, and at the end of the day, that means more profits and more food on his table. Yet, like the bourbon makers of Kentucky who have been hamstrung by the thoughtless tariffs of our president, those farmers are now facing a tremendous amount of uncertainty. Mitch McConnell and his compatriots used the government shutdown to force through legislation that will outlaw much of the hemp industry and force those farmers to eat huge losses. Many of them will lose their farms. Many of them will lose their houses. So, I ask you, what manner of man makes it his business to make sure another man goes hungry? What sort of coward from these mountains... Sorry, let me restart over on that. What sort of coward comes from these mountains only to steal the food from the mouths of the very people whose interests he is sworn to protect and uphold? Why, Mr. McConnell, must our people go without opportunities to make their lives better? The cruelest cut. Stating facts and figures does not do justice to the hurt that the hemp ban will bring about to our people. There are those who have already invested everything in the bright future they saw before them, and it is shameless that any man would seek to rob them of that. People who are Appalachians, like myself, have taken loans and quite literally bet the farm on this revitalizing industry. I want you to know some of these people. I want you to see those who will lose everything to this unjust policy. There are good people, like Eric Zipperly and Jim Higdon, the owners of Cornbread Hemp, which produces CBD extracts, edibles, and many more products from their crop. The people at Cornbread Hemp don't take away from our communities like the old coal operators and mine owners. These men go the extra mile to only source their hemp from local farmers. They provide jobs and money to our region, export their goods all across the nation, and uplift their community in Louisville. Pictured, Eric and Jim. What about Chad and Christian Watt, who own and operate the Kentucky Botanical Company? This husband and wife team has invested everything in bringing quality alternative care to the people of the mountains. They founded their company in 2019 after Christian's mother was diagnosed with brain cancer, and bring locally grown hemp extracts, CBD oils, and other natural care products to the people of the mountains with over 5 different dispensaries. They care about their customers. They care about their communities. They care about the good that their products can do for the people that need them. Pictured, Christian Watt. Hear me well, you dirty Republican bastards. If you would take someone's job, then you should have to at least know their name. If you endeavor to rob a man of his future, then you should have to know his story so that your black hearts might appreciate what it is you conspire to do unto him and his family. I refuse to let you treat these people like numbers. I am tired of seeing people treated like numbers. Life is not a ledger that you may balance when it pleases you, and the livelihood of any family in these tough times must be preserved. You would cut safety regulations and fight against black lung benefits for the sake of keeping the coal business alive. But you would not extend a single moment of compassion to grant these people an opportunity at making a better future? What about the One Love Hemp Dispensary of Louisville? They're owned by Jana Groda, who has been a driving force of the hemp industry in Kentucky since 2015 after CBD gave her life back to her following a horrifying 40-foot rock climbing accident. I challenge any of these conservative cowards to turn such a misfortune into a passion like this woman has. I challenge them to look such a woman in the eye and tell her that the people she has helped or the jobs that she has created are wrong. Pictured, Jana. Mitch wants to put her out of business. What about the Kentucky Cannabis Company, owned by Bill Polinack, Mr. McConnell? What do you say about this man, who has busted his ass to build an industry since 2014, creating over 55 different products and pioneering the cultivation of CBD-centric hemp plants instead of simply using them for fiber? Does the American dream that you Republican dogs so often hold up not champion the entrepreneur? Do you not think of yourself as a man of industry? Pictured. This is Bill, and Bill does not deserve to lose his business, Mr. McConnell. Now, you and yours say that you're pushing this ban to keep dangerous substances out of the hands of children. I propose that you are doing no such thing. Other folks might be fooled into thinking you're just old-fashioned and coming down with the reefer madness, but I have lived in coal country too long to not recognize a man suckling the teat of industry when I see him. Nothing that Mitch McConnell or the Republican Party does is for the good of our people, and that story is the same no matter what part of Appalachia you go to or what corrupt official you hold up to the light. You have not committed this economic murder for the sake of protecting anyone, Mr. McConnell. This is certainly not a case of self-defense. I propose you have done the deed for far more self-serving reasons, and I aim to prove it so. You're getting old and slow, Mr. McConnell. Too many mistakes. Too many dangling threads for a curious coyote to take in his jaws and give a good, hard pull. For example, between 1990 and 2024, you took more money from the tobacco industry than any other Republican politician alive today. As a matter of fact, you took something along the lines of $762,986 in donations from the owners of various tobacco companies. As we all know, the tobacco and alcohol industries have long opposed both hemp and marijuana. Every time someone uses CBD to treat their anxiety or unwind at the end of the day, that's money that's a cigarette unsmoked or a beer unopened. Pictured, tobacco was, before hemp, a big crop in Kentucky. Is that why you were paid so well, Mr. McConnell? Did they pay you to take jobs away from your people? Cursory examination of your financial records reveals that the beer, wine, and liquor lobby has paid you a total of $889,254 between the years of 1990 and 2024. This is even more than the tobacco lobby has paid you, Mr. McConnell. And seeing these extravagant numbers laid out, I'm puzzled by what they were getting in return from you. After all, most of us are fairly comfortable with the established laws of drinking and smoking. I've seen no great advancement in alcohol consumption, and I've certainly not seen the return of cigarette machines to street corners or schools. What were they paying you for, Mitch? What did they expect in return for all that money? I'm kidding, Mr. McConnell. This ain't no mystery to me or nobody else who sees them numbers. Pictured. Mitch the bitch bought and paid for. You are as a see-through window, and the smell of your purchased complicity in the undermining of an industry that helps keep your people out of destitution stinks to high heaven, old son. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, a final ingredient in your true motives that deserves to be called out, because I don't give a damn who you are. Dirty doing is dirty did. The bluegrass state, my beloved Kentucky, is relatively unique amongst its Appalachian counterparts in that it has a Democrat for a governor. Andy Beshear has worked tirelessly to bring new jobs and industries to our state, including the hemp industry, and in doing so has drastically reduced unemployment and provided new opportunities for our people. Andy Beshear's success is a threat to not only Mitch McConnell and his lot, but also to the tyrants of industry that would prefer to keep our people as cheap labor for their endeavors. If the mine owners have to pay a competitive wage, then they find themselves getting testy, don't they now, Mr. McConnell? Makes you and yours who have thrown your lot in with Mr. Trump look bad by comparison. So the best you could come up with, having no way to defeat the man in terms of policy or results, was to tank an entire goddamn industry. You, known as the Grim Reaper of the Senate, sold our people out for a bag of silver and petty ambition. I have words for you, sir. A few closing words for the Reaper. Pictured, Appalachian child and her kitty, circa 1960. I will confess, Mr. McConnell, there are few men who boil my blood quite like you do. We are both Appalachians. We are both children of these mountains. And though you are from a distinctly privileged background, and I have known nothing but poverty, we still share the same culture. We are forged in the same fires, raised up with the same values, and told the same stories, are we not? I wager you are a man who enjoys his cornbread with a bit of butter and a tall glass of milk. Sidebar, what kind of barbarian wouldn't? I can imagine you poking that head of yours out of its turtle shell to bob along with some Ralph Stanley ditty. But I fear that is where our similarities end, Mitch. Pictured, modern Appalachian family that your choices have hurt, Mr. McConnell. I am a child of drafty trailers and desolate, abandoned strip mines. My every waking moment is spent staring poverty in the face, hearing the everyday stories of the people of this region who never even had a damn chance because men like you sold us out before half of us was even born. While you have grown soft and fat, eating fine steaks and sipping expensive wine, I have been in the hollers with the haints and the have-nots, Mr. McConnell. Our people deserve better than what you have done to them. Our people deserve opportunities. Our people deserve better futures and options when it comes to the industries that they work for. Our people are not pit ponies. We are more than King Cole would have us believe. We are more than the poverty and the hunger that so define our region. Have you forgotten the history of the blood that flows through both our veins, Mr. McConnell? Has time robbed you of the measure of your recollection? Does no piece of our culture still shine in your black heart after all these years? We are moonshiners, bootleggers, organizers. People who thumb their noses at authority and watch out for their own, Mr. McConnell. We are the children of men who lay down their lives to pull the Black Rock up from the depths of the earth. We grow up hearing the phlegmy rumble of black lung in our fathers' chests. We are the children made sick by water poisoned by runoff. We are the parents who go without food so that our young may eat. We are the byproduct of an industry that has used us up, spit us out, and we still came back for more each and every time because dying ain't half as scary as letting your family go without. Pictured. Do you remember what your masters did to us, Mr. McConnell? Does it not haunt you as it does me? And we demand better. We deserve better. We will oppose your efforts, sir. We will fight them tooth and nail until the last breath, if we must. We will answer your attempted murder of the hemp industry, and one of the avenues through which Appalachia may dig itself out from beneath the boot of King Cole and economic desolation. We will answer by contacting our state representatives and telling them that they must do something to protect the hemp industry. Not just because of the millions of people who rely on the products for their care, but because the people of Appalachia need this industry. As long as there are men who would take food from the mouths of Appalachians, there will be those of us who resist you, and this battle is far from over. Solidarity forever. All right. Cool. That was a good one. I enjoy that. I mean, I hate, as ever, man, like, I always have to loop back on this part. I hate the subject matter and, like, what it has to be being told here. But that doesn't mean I hate the actual writing. I love the writing. I love that this is being done and that it exists. And that Coyote is putting the fucking voice to this sort of a thing. Because it desperately needs to be talked about. This is fucking horse shit. And, well, certainly, this is, I myself, some idiot, hello, please like and subscribe. Please, I love you, thank you. Anyway, I am not an Appalachian. I'm a southern boy that moved out from the fucking South. And the South is very different from Appalachia. That's a very true thing. But I do not know these struggles. That being said, I have seen a variety of different ones. And while the nature of them specifically is different from one to the next, much as any human being, while we are all human beings, each individual one is different from the next, there are common threads in the struggle of the economically impoverished and oppressed. And this sort of shit needs to have a light shit shown on it. Because it is fucked. It is fucked for the people of Appalachia. It is fucked for people everywhere. And so, personally, Coyote, straight at you, brother. I deeply, as much as I am so incensed at the subject matter in and of itself, I am deeply grateful and thankful that you put words to this. Try to draw attention to these struggles, to these issues. And I am deeply honored that you have allowed me to go ahead and read these. Thank you for all of that, my dude. Okay, there's my little bit of soapboxy stuff on this one. Come on, mouse. Quit being a booty hole. There we go. All right, so let's get on to the standard stuff here, shall we? First and foremost, as I said earlier in the video, make sure that you are giving Coyote a follow on the main page. I believe it's normally green if you're not already following, but you've got right here, there's another follow button at the bottom of each and every article. I highly recommend go check out more of them. If you did enjoy this, make sure to spread a link to the article itself. I mean, you can share an article or a link to this video. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. But it is more important, especially, that you spread on social media or to friends, whatever. Share links to Coyote's dispatches directly. I want him to have more views. I want more impressions to come to these, if at all possible. That is why I am doing this. I want to draw attention to his writing and his illumination on the struggles of the people in Appalachia, as well as some of the more gonzo shit that he's talked about in the past. Like that one story with the mudslide that most definitely was not a mudslide that his friend got caught in. That was funny. But do go to the article itself. Show it some love. Make sure that you give him a follow. Let's get those numbers up. Also, right down here, you got the little clap. Bam! Give it a clap. That goes ahead, shows more positive impressions. In addition, go ahead. Let's give it a comment. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Thing needs to be shining that shining light on it. Thank you for there we go. Toss that on in. Comment if you feel so inclined, but at the very least, make sure go to the article, give it a clap, do that, all that sort of stuff. Also, importantly here, I want to call attention to this. The donations that Coyote can receive from these truly and genuinely go a long way towards helping him hit the lights on in a very real sense, not just the metaphorical. Homie's got bills to pay. And I would be remiss if I did not make a call to action. Please, if you did enjoy this, go over right here. You got this little icon, little hand. I've got a link in the description as well. Go give him a tip. Doesn't have to be much. $1, $5, hell, even 10. Whatever bit that, if you can, please go share it. It truly helps out immensely. I myself have donated numerous times. I did so just this morning. Please do so. Only if you can spare it. And if not, that's fine too. No guilt to be had. We all know the struggle for all this crap. But, That's all I've got for that relating to the dispatches. In addition, I would be equally remiss if I did not call out the fact that Coyote has now his second published work through Nightmare Press. It is Sarah Corbin's Bloody Revenge. Okay, good. I thought that might be getting a bad glare on it. But this thing right here, fantastic read. I ordered this the day that it came out, and, well, it took me a couple of days till I had a bit of free time to sit down. From the minute I cracked this thing open, I sat down and I could not put it down until, like, sometime later in the evening when I finished it. It was a fever pace for this. Fucking loved it. It is a wild western, and it is very much a tale of revenge. I can't really say much without giving much away, but it has been compared to Louis L'Amour. And from what little Louis L'Amour I have read, yeah, no, that's a fair comparison. I kind of wish my dad was still alive. My dad was a fan of Louis L'Amour, and I would have been like, yo, Pops, check this out. What's your thoughts? And really, I would have gotten the opinion of someone who genuinely, deeply enjoyed westerns. Alas, rest in peace, Dad. But I will also have a link to that in the description as well. And if you're like, I don't know if I want to, I also have a playlist of Nightmare Tuesdays where a few weeks back I did actually do a reading of the first chapter, so you can check that out. All right, I have rambled on enough at this point. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. We're going into the Thanksgiving week. I myself will be out of state. So, yeah. Y'all take care. Watch out for each other. Have a good time of things. I'm pretty sure I will be driving when this actually goes live. So, that's it. Deuces.